punktorah Productions. Sponsored by Darshan Yeshiva.
Reddit is a terrible place where no one should exist, but Jewish people do, and every community needs a rabbi. So I'm the unofficial rabbi of Reddit, answering your questions that you didn't ask me. Let's get to it. First question comes from Verily 2023. Just realized Hanukkah starts December 25th this year. Do you consider this a good thing or a bad thing? So Christmas. Yeah, Christmaka. Do I consider this a good thing or a bad thing? To be honest with you, I'm kind of indifferent on it. I think it's going to be very convenient for interfaith families, and it's going to be extremely inconvenient for other people. So my attitude with all of these things is it's hard to combine different holidays, but it's a lot easier to appreciate difference. So go to one set of relatives for Christmas, light a menorah at home. Go to one set of family for dreidel and gelt and sufganiyot and latkes, have a Christmas tree at your place. Whatever your family configuration is, just do the best that you can. And I'm pretty indifferent about whether societally this is a good thing or a bad thing. Question comes from Tiger Mamala. I think that's, Tiger _ Mamala, baby. What's your answer for, and how was your Hanukkah? So this is this thing where people are trying to make an equivalence between Christmas and Hanukkah. The same way you might say, how was your Christmas, or how was your Thanksgiving? If someone says, how was your Hanukkah? I'd say, it was fantastic. I had a wonderful time. Spent time with my family and friends. Went to a vodka and latkes party. Whatever. Here's the thing. It's not our job to put people down when they try to be nice to us. It's our job to elevate people when they try to be nice to us. So if someone really wants to know if Hanukkah is Jewish Christmas, just say, no, it's not. Explain what it is in 140 characters or less, and thank Bob for asking and say Merry Christmas. Question comes from As Olivia. So As Olivia says, what to do celebrating Hanukkah for the first time? Lots and lots of questions, but basically this person says, I'll be celebrating Hanukkah by myself this year, definitely watching the Rugrats special for nostalgia's sake. That's wonderful. And hopefully making latkes, which is also wonderful. But is there anything else that I can do to feel more of a sense of community? Well, that's just it. You need to be with people. That's the only way you can really feel community, if that's what you're looking for. Invite people over to your house. Here's the thing. We're all about latkes in this country. Sufganiyot is what they do in Israel, and that's a lot easier. So go get some donuts and call it a day. One of my favorite things to do is to get the minis. Buy those little they're not hypodermic needles, but it's the little pastry shot things. They also use them for jello shooters, and just inject them with different types of flavorings: Nutella, strawberry jam, creme fraiche, whatever your particular thing is. That's kind of fun. People like the craft activity of taking the little donuts and squirting different flavors in them. So that's kind of a fun activity. Go to things. Help your friends have Hanukkah parties. And if you're like a cook, offer to cook if they host, and invite their friends. It's a great way to meet people and build community that way. Of course, synagogues have options, JCCs, federations have options. If what you're going for is community, be with people. Okay, this was posted on the Christianity subreddit by Truth Planet. How come Hanukkah was taken out of the Bible? I know the story of Hanukkah is in the Maccabees, but why was it taken out and put as non-canon when Jesus himself celebrated Hanukkah? Okay, so why did this happen? So there's a big problem between the sort of redactors and editors, if you want to use, of the Bible and the Maccabees. And as far as I'm concerned, the issue was, did a miracle happen or not? So the actual Hanukkah story can be found in the book of Maccabees, which was preserved by the Catholic Church. And you can read about how this was really about creating political and religious alliances against the Seleucid Empire. I mean, there's a whole story of going into the temple and cleansing the temple, the idea that we celebrate for 8 nights, which is a replicating of Sukkot, all kinds of other things. You find the oil miracle in the Talmud. So this is the extra canonical text of Judaism. So ultimately, I wasn't there when the Bible was redacted, but I think it had to do with this issue of, was God actually involved in Hanukkah? The rabbis wanted God to be present in the story. They did it through the Talmud. I don't know why it was taken out for any other purposes. So this comes from No, is that right? No, Bono, blah, 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 blah. No, Bonobo. No, Bonobo. Okay, there we go. That took a minute. This comes from No, Bonobo, who says, none of my Gentile friends wished me a happy Hanukkah. I know it's not a big deal, but I'm a bit bummed nonetheless. Most of my close friends are Gentiles, and they know my Judaism is important to me. I talk about it a lot. Organized with some Jewish orgs. While I typically feel supported and more or less seen by my friends, it still makes me feel kind of sad. Well, I'm sorry that you feel sad. And my question would be, did you include them at all? Right? So you said you talk a lot about it. This year, did they get to come to your house and see a Hanukkah? Were you talking about that you were going to Jewish events, things like that? So it may just not have been on their radar. The other thing, too, is maybe your friends aren't so supportive after all. We've noticed a rise in anti-Semitism. Just as a story, when October 7th happened, none of my non-Jewish clergy friends actually reached out to me. But when the Tree of Life shooting happened, almost all of them did. So there is some sort of times where people are going to reach out more or reach out less. That doesn't necessarily mean anything about their character. It's just what's on their radar. So I'm really sorry that happened. I hold space for you, as the kids say. And also, hopefully this isn't a reflection of who these people are vis-a-vis you and your Jewish identity. If they're saying things, doing things, participating in things that have undertones of anti-Semitism or where anti-Semites tend to find themselves, then you probably need to start looking for some new friends. Go to Jewish events. That's where you're going to find people who are going to say Happy Hanukkah. Bonus video. I use the term Christmaka. A couple things I want to clarify. First of all, there's no such thing as Christmaka. It's not a real holiday, but we can thank a wonderful show from the 90s and early aughts called The OC, which had a wonderful interfaith connection between a blonde-haired, sort of sexy surfer type guy and a family that was interfaith family, and they came up with the term Christmaka. So we can thank MTV and the latter days of MTV actually having good shows for us having the term Christmaka. Thank you, MTV. You suck now, but thanks for the term Christmaka.